So good morning or good night, depending on where you are, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude in a Couch. Today I'm joined by Justin Simbel. He's the singer, guitar player from the band The God Bombs. So how are you today, Justin?
I'm great. I'm really great. It's afternoon here in Colorado Springs. We're on tour right now. And I want to clarify, I'm the bass player.
You're the bass player.
The
Oh,
singer.
damn it.
It's all good.
Yeah, I was looking at the picture. I'm like, is that a bass? Is that a guitar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
write all the bass parts and I have done some of the guitar work, but we do have a guitarist named Ryan Lynch. But currently I'm on tour alone, which is awesome. And I'm playing the songs alone and it's been great.
how does that work? You play the bass and you have like everything else programmed?
Yeah, well, I play bass, I do live vocals, and I have like a live vocal effects unit where I'm changing the vocals for each song, and I have a lot of effects on my bass and stuff. So I build like a whole atmosphere with all that. And then we have all the backing tracks, which is pre-recorded because I did all the beats. It's all basically new material that I'm playing from this new album that we wrote, which was all drum machine. So I did everything on my drum machine. It's all very minimalistic. And I just took that onto a backing track because I didn't want to bring the drum machine out on the road with me and risk like getting stolen or whatever.
Yeah,
Because nobody
that sounds
has
like
those nowadays. So if you see one of those at a gig, it's like, whoa, you know. But yeah, all this stuff was done live. It's very analog. It's very just sort of off the cuff. And it was all done. This whole EP that we did, which is coming out in October, was designed for me to perform alone live.
yeah, I know because I know you had put out a previous album at the beginning of the year, but now you're going to promote this new album that you're going to
Yes.
release now, the Volume One. And I gotta say that's a very interesting looking shirt
Thank you.
with the Winnie Winnie Pooh. I'm not gonna get that for my kids. I think they would have nightmares. But yeah, it's. Yeah, I was like, let me look at that shirt. So yeah, so how's the tour going so far?
The tour has been going great. It's my first time doing it this way, and I'm loving it. People are loving it. I'm getting a great reaction. We started at the Whiskey Go-Go in Hollywood, and that's a venue that I've always dreamed of performing. So that was like really cool to cross that off the bucket list, be able to say we started our tour at the Whiskey, and we're just like 5 shows in right now, and it's just been going great. And yeah, we released an album called Supernovas earlier this year, and that was like a full band effort. The thing with the God Bombs is it's always evolving and changing. It's a collective. And like I'm the constant member of the collective. So this new release that we're working on and this new stuff that we're doing is very minimalistic. And it's very much just, it was an exclusive collaboration between myself and a synth player named Ricky Rubinson, who does the synths and samples and stuff. And it was all made from live jams. And that album's coming out October 14th. So that's what I'm touring right now. But Supernovas was like a epic concept album, 16 songs. It was a full band album. We recorded in Colombia and stuff. And I'm really, really proud of that album too. And I am doing a few songs from that album as well.
Yeah, no, I was listening to that album,
Yeah.
The God is a Dominatrix and
Yeah.
other songs. Yeah, I really got a vibe like a industrial electronic like Marilyn Manson type of vibe. And
Yeah.
yeah, before offline we were saying that when I got the promo to talk to you, and I saw, I was like, I've seen him before, and I remember seeing your YouTube channel, and you did reviews for Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah, I think you did the whole Marilyn Manson discography almost.
I was in the process, and then I stopped actually after Antichrist Superstar.
It's kind of hard
I
after that.
because of all the shit that happened online. I was just like, I don't want to be involved in this right now. But I want to continue it, and I want to continue. I haven't done Mechanical Animals. I didn't do Hollywood. I didn't do Golden Age. So there's a lot of like classic albums that I didn't do.
Yeah, I saw the Antichrist Superstar one.
That was the last one we did actually.
Yeah, that was a great review, very in-depth review.
Yeah.
And I could tell that you're really a fan, and I actually enjoyed his last album.
I love the We Are Chaos album.
Yeah, the We Are Chaos album. Yeah, I thought it was interesting too.
I thought it was good. I did a review of that one as well on my channel. That's actually the one that started it all, I think, because
Yeah.
I started with the new album and then I was like, let me go back and start and do them all, because some people kept saying, oh, we love your reviews, it's so in depth, why don't you do them all? So I was starting to do that, and you're giving me the motivation now, because I'm gonna continue it now.
No, yeah, no.
Because Mechanical Animals is my favorite Marilyn Manson album,
It's a
and
good album, yeah, because that's when he went more like at least on that one, he went like more glam. You could tell
yeah,
more of the David Bowie influence on him.
not just Bowie, but like Radiohead. Like you hear a
Yeah,
lot of like weird, there was a lot of really cool production techniques that they used, and it was all, very space age kind of. I love that he was willing to just totally like do a 180 and shift his whole thing. And that's kind of what I was doing with this stuff, like with Simulation. It's a 180 from Supernovas, because Supernovas is like this full thing with live drums and everybody, a whole full band. We recorded in Colombia and everything was all completely like concept album, and there's two vocalists and blah blah blah, and then now it's stripped down to just me and one other guy, and it's all my bass live, and I'm it's more noise. This new album that we're doing is more noise, experimental, old school industrial, post-punk, like inspired by Throbbing Gristle or like Einstürzende Neubauten and like early industrial bands, Skinny Puppy, like early
yeah.
Skinny Puppy stuff. Not so much like Supernovas is more like influence, I guess you could say, by like, that late 90s industrial rock stuff like Orgy and
Oh yeah, I remember Orgy and there
like
were
Nine
so
Inch
many.
Nails and Stabbing Westward and like all those kinds of artists. Um, we were kind of going with that stuff back then, but this new album is more like retro in a way, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's more bare to the minimum. So I want to show the the artwork for the tour. So people, I know that starting in October you'll be more in the East Coast. So it's with Green Jelly or Green Jello. I remember them from the Little Pigs era, and I know they released an album last year. So the tour's going so far. Any crazy tour stories?
Crazy tour stories.
Yeah, right now, or everything's more normal now in the touring?
Honestly, it's been really chill. I'm just traveling with my girlfriend right now, and for the first time, I'm not in a tour van with like a trailer and all this shit. We're just touring in my car, and it's been great actually. Any crazy tour stories? I'm trying to think. Has anything I mean, no, it's just been really cool. Oh, I met a Native American juggalo. That was really cool.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, wow, this is like a really weird crossover, because the Juggalos paint their face, and historically Native Americans have the face paint. And I'm like, okay, so I can kind of see how this, the Juggalos are like the rebels, the outcasts of society, and they're like, fuck you. And like, I feel like kind of like that can be the vibe sometimes, like with Native Americans too, where they're like, fuck you, yo, this is our country first, So
That's
it
why
was
they're
cool.
called Native Americans.
Exactly. So it was cool to see that kind of like Juggalo Native thing come together. And yeah, I'm really excited. We've seen a lot of really cool artists that have come out of the woodwork as like openers for this tour so far.
Yeah. So the new single that you released was "Bad Man."
Yeah.
Why did you set on that one for the single to promote the new material?
Well, I think because Batman is like sexy, it has a cool bass line, it's kind of funky, it's kind of dance oriented.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit bluesy, whereas the rest of the album is really more experimental. It doesn't really have like a kind of blues element, whereas Badman kind of has that swing. So we went with Badman, and Badman is in general, it's like I feel like nowadays it's really popular for everybody to kind of like just blame everybody else for all their problems online, and they're like, oh, this group of people is putting everyone down, or this group, that group. It's like everybody's divided in groups or whatever, and I feel like, it's all about saying like, fuck this bad man thing. I don't want to be your bad man. I'm not going to be your scapegoat. Like let's all just move forward. Like we're keeping each other stuck by, throwing all these names around and throwing all these identities around and trying to like hold each other in place with like, oh, well, this happened in the past or that happened. It's like, we got to move forward as a people, as a whole, because like, we got to look towards the future. You know, they say if you look too long in the rearview mirror, you're gonna get
Hit,
you're
yeah.
gonna miss what's that's what kind of what I was trying to talk about with Bad Man.
No, yeah, it's good to be in the present. So
Yeah.
it's nice that you're experiencing in YouTube. So yeah, but my experience with YouTube has been, it's interesting YouTube because you can post like a video where I can do an album review and praise the album, and I'll get views, but I'll say an album is shit.
Oh, and people love that. Yeah.
And oh my God, I'll get like so much like traffic. I'm like, okay, like I did like a mini video talking about like saying that the new Ozzy Osbourne song was bad, and I got a lots of click, but I said a song is good, and no one cares.
Well, yeah, it's the hyperbole, you know, everybody wants like this extreme thing. So it's like, oh, this is the worst thing ever, or this is terrible, or whatever. And it's like, you know, come on. We all know it takes a lot of effort to make this kind of music. It's none of it's terrible, you know.
Yeah,
And that's the thing. There's
you
so
can
much
say that some parts aren't that's great, some parts are
yeah.
good, but yeah.
But sensationalism is really popular nowadays, and hyperbole is popular, and it's just it seems like any kind of like real in-depth intellectual discussion kind of goes out the window in favor of like, oh my God, it's like this one headline that's like one sentence and it's like so dramatic. You have to just comment because there's so much happening, you know, what's going to cut through all the noise? A bunch of drama a lot of times, sadly, you know.
No, yeah. So growing up for you, I know watching your YouTube channel that you're a Marilyn Manson fan. What other bands inspired you growing up?
Growing up, definitely, I actually had when I was really little, my mom would travel a lot. So she would leave me with a Hungarian babysitter. And back in Eastern Europe, the industrial scene was really popular. So she would give me like CDRs of Skinny Puppy, Frontline Assembly, Ministry, KMFDM, all these weird underground artists that you wouldn't normally hear like at that time period. Because, you know,
they didn't play them. Yeah.
yeah. So I was exposed to all that. And so I had a good context because when I heard like Orgy or Nine Inch Nails or Marilyn Manson, whatever was like more modern at the time, I realized, oh, these guys are kind of influenced by this older industrial stuff from Europe. And then they made it more like pop in a way, or more metal, or more marketable kind of. So I had the context. So I was influenced by the underground industrial, even like the original industrial, like Throbbing Gristle. I discovered that band really early on because I was interested in the avant-garde experimental roots of industrial, not just like the modern, like more rock and roll industrial that was on the radio. So I kind of had the full spectrum of that. And then of course, you know, I was influenced by punk stuff. Like, you know, every kid when they're young was listening to Green Day and Nirvana and Smashing Pumpkins, and, you know, just like the grunge stuff, and also hip hop too. Hip hop kind of like reached me a little bit at a later age, I guess, but I'm really influenced by Kanye West and other hip hop artists, you know, Eminem and all that stuff. Like that was really big growing up. So, you know, it was all always there. So we kind of all just put it in a blender.
Yeah, and I read also on the bio that you are trying to incorporate like some trap music into what you do.
And then more recently, yeah, for sure, with trap music, with artists like Little Peep and Ghostmane, and before that with like Tyler the Creator, which I don't even know if you would consider him trap, but all of those artists kind of brought me into like more modern day hip hop or trap music. And I was influenced by all that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, like I could take that and combine it with my roots and my sound, because I still think there's a lot to explore with that.
No, yeah, I don't know much about trap music. I know about Bad Bunny from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
But that's like
trap is a fusion of EDM and hip hop, basically. So it's like hip hop beats, but a lot more synthetic and like, you know, a lot of more modern sounds. And I like it because you can kind of like, it almost like the beat comes and goes and you're like kind of floating almost in a way. It's kind of a cool way of approaching like the rhythm.
Yeah, so it's like electronic music, yeah, with some rap. So yeah, but yeah, when I first heard, I'm like, what is this? Because maybe there's so many musical genres. You can get sometimes confused with all the
Yeah.
genres that are come and going and
Well, and at the
explode.
end of the day, it's all just one thing anyway. It's all music.
Yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
music.
matter. I mean, genres are invented by journalists, right? That's the cool thing about industrial, though, because industrial was invented by the band Throbbing Gristle. They invented the name for the genre. So at least with this genre, we have our own. It was created by an artist. Whereas a lot of genres, I think a lot of times like journalists can't come up with the name or whatever. So
Yeah, they there's so many names. I'm like I just listen to if I like it, I'll like it, and I'll
yeah.
listen to it. But yeah, there's
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of
I mean, yeah, we're touring. I'm touring right now with like positive juggalo hip hop artists, and I mean, in a way, my music is positive, and I think a lot of people are picking up on that because it's a release of the negativity. It's not about like holding in the negativity and becoming the negativity. Like a lot of heavy artists, I think they want to be like, oh, I'm so badass and scary and ooh, like I'm not about that because that's all bullshit. Like I got something in the email today and it was like this metal festival and they were like, we're being protested by a Christian group. Click the link to find out more. Like they're excited and proud that someone actually still finds them scary.
yeah.
And I'm like, dude, if you're telling people that a Christian group is protesting you, like that's not, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not about being scary. In other words, it's about releasing the negativity for me.
No, I
So
think that was more like in the 80s when like
yeah,
I
it's
remember
like,
where
I
everything
don't
like
wear eyeliner because I think it makes me scary and dangerous. I wear it because I like it.
yeah, you don't look dangerous, no.
I don't want to look, I just want to look how I want to look, So I think that's like, for me, it's more positive in the sense that my stuff's just like, let's release let's not be in denial that we have the negative emotions. Let's just acknowledge them and be at one with the darkness and be comfortable with the
Yeah.
shadow, and then release the shadow selves. And we can release that on stage. And that's what the God Moms is all about.
Yeah, and sometimes when you think about scary images, sometimes the most scary image could be. Do you remember that movie American Psycho with Christian Bale?
Yeah, yeah.
That
A
yuppie
normal
dude, all
person.
dressed up, and
Yeah. It's terrifying. A politician. It's terrifying.
yeah,
Because these people look normal and they're wearing
they look
suits.
normal and they're evil.
They're in the front of the camera and everyone's like this. And they're ordering the murder of 20,000 people
Yeah.
in the Middle East. They're like, send the drone strikes. We're going to go kill them. And they're bombing the villages and people are dying. And then they're on the camera smiling with their suit and that's terrifying.
That is real scary power, people. Like you being dressed like that, or
They
having
want
that,
they want you to think I'm scary because they don't want you to realize that they're fucking
like,
scary.
yeah, that's like, come on, it's Halloween for you every day, and you don't care.
Well, when I was a kid, I wore like a pirate outfit every day, and my mom was like, I would go to the restaurant, and I was like, oh, I need to have my my pirate cape and everything. And I think kids are like that naturally, and then everyone's like, no, that's only one day a year, Halloween only. And kids are like, what do you mean? That's every day.
Yeah, my kids, my son likes to dress like Batman every day.
Yeah.
And my daughter wants to wear the tiara, like
because
they don't get the concept.
He wants to be a superhero every day.
Yeah,
he wants to be a princess every day. And why can't we be that?
Yeah, that is so true. And so yeah, that's like the scariest thing. Like that movie is the American Psycho, because he's like a clean cut guy with the suits, and he's evil, murdering people.
And that's how it really is.
So
too.
yeah, sometimes you can't judge a book by its cover. Like it's total, it's entertainment.
At the end of the day, like the people that are ordering the murder and imprisonment of there's like millions of people in prison right now.
Yeah.
And they're in prison because of some guy in a suit.
That is true. Where I'm from, in Puerto Rico, like a few years ago, the governor of the island had to resign. I don't know if you saw, he had to resign because after the hurricane, they did a group chat where they were making fun of the people that died after the hurricane, and like some homophobic things.
Oh yeah, and they're just like, we don't care about these peasants.
Horrible things.
Those are the real scary people. And they're wearing suits.
and they did it on a chat, and it went
Right.
out, and the Puerto Rican people marched through the streets, and they made him resign.
That's great. He's
Yeah,
lucky they didn't tie him up like Mussolini.
no. He resigned, and he had to go away. And oh my God, he was on Fox News, and he was
Oh,
trying to explain it, and the guy was so he was trying to explain like no, what I'm sorry. He said like I'm sorry. Yeah, you're sorry. Like he insulted people on a chat. He said like horrible things. So yeah, that was something that can be done. And he like in last year in the elections here, the elections were decided. We had like like whenever like Trump and Biden, they're almost like the crypt keeper. They're
yeah.
so old, and
They're so
you're
out
like,
of
oh,
touch
it's
with.
yeah, it's so bad when your best decision is like you remember Sesame Street or the Muppets, the two old guys that fought in the balcony.
Yeah.
That's what that was. That you had
Yeah,
the two old
exactly.
guys.
It's or
Yeah,
like the South Park where they say a
yeah,
bird or a
like two old
giant.
men yelling at the wind. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that
no,
was our best
I
choice.
was like, this is, yeah, I was like, I despise them both. I did the song anti-Biden because I was like, somewhere along the way, I'm like, listen, I don't like Trump and I don't like Biden. And everyone's like,
They both
even like,
suck.
if I do anti-Biden, they were like, well, what, you like Trump then? I'm like, no, I hate them both. And
Yeah.
at what point did we all decide that rock and roll has to be like Democrat or something? It's weird. I'm like, the
Or
Democrats,
yeah, like when
they're so full of shit too, man. Like they're so fucking full of shit.
they're all political parties
What they
have their
did to Bernie
flaws.
Sanders and everything, and how they just tried to like secretly kind of get him out because he was like, oh, he's not going to represent our big money interests and everything.
Yeah.
They're all about they basically all about like deflecting onto other people. And that's kind of what I don't like, because it's like they try to do smoke screens because they're like, oh, look what, look how bad this is, whatever. If everything that was happening right now was happening under Trump, everybody would be complaining about, oh, Trump's the worst president. With the shit that's happening, the economy is down, the
The
fucking thing,
gasoline is super high.
the gasoline, the shit with Ukraine, the cryptocurrency, everything's fucked. Nobody's saying shit about Biden because it's at least he's not Trump. It's like, come on, guys.
You know why I think is that? Because the thing with Trump is like Trump didn't give you time to like forget him, because every day he had to do a tweet. He had to do something. It was like, shut the fuck up. Like at least with Biden, he's there, but like Trump always reminded you every day that he was president. Like he tweeted
Biden,
like every hour.
With Biden, they have to keep him in like the incubation tank in between.
Yeah, they probably have to like
keep him alive
on an IV support, so he's like so he doesn't die or anything.
Yeah, he's probably in like the Han Solo thing, where he gets frozen in the kryptonite.
Oh,
they put him in the
of
kryptonite.
course, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and yeah, they probably like they freeze him, and we need him, unfreeze him. Yeah, no, it's it's terrible that like.
That's funny that you said you're from Puerto Rico. I
Yeah.
I had a grandma. My grandma was Puerto Rican because my grandfather married twice. So the second was my Puerto Rican grandmother. So not by blood, but I went to Culebra a lot.
Oh, Culebra has one of the most beautiful beaches in the world called Flamenco Beach.
Yes, yeah. I love Flamenco Beach. I've been there a lot.
Oh yeah, I like to go. I scuba dive too. So when I go over there, scuba diving over there is it's super fun and super relaxing. So yeah, that's nice. But yeah, politics, it's like, and when people say music shouldn't be political, I'm like rock and roll has always had a hand in politics since the 60s, or it's rebellious music.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah. I'm a student of history, actually, and I think a lot of people don't know anything about history, and that's kind of a problem because, like, if you look at rock and roll, it started from folk music. It's not just the blues. Everyone thinks, oh, it's this. Everyone keeps saying nowadays rock and roll is like this black art form. It's the blues. Yes and no. It's that. And it's this folk music that was happening in the hills and all this stuff where they were talking about politics in their music. and they were like making a statement with and those two things combined is kind of the roots of what we have modern. That's why we have a tradition of rock and roll being kind of somewhat political.
Yeah, it's rebellious, and I think somewhere in the 2000s it got too cookie cutter and like more bland. But
Yeah.
I like rebellious music, music that has something to say. Like
Yeah.
I would love to see Rage Against the Machine now that they're touring. But
Yeah, I'm glad that they're coming back. And I don't always sometimes like I don't always agree with every artist but I'm like you. I like, I want them to say what they feel and I like
yeah,
that.
it doesn't mean that you have to agree with every little statement that they say, because you got to have your own opinions and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's, and so volume one, the one that you're releasing, I'm going to show the website here because I know you have the website. I was looking at it. Here's the website for the God Bombs.
Oh, I forgot I have a website.
You have a website.
I better update it. Yeah. No, it's pretty.
Yeah.
I'm just being silly. It's pretty updated. We have new merch.
Here's the t-shirts.
Yeah.
See, if you want to get some panties, there you have them. And I think there's a link to the music where you can.
Yes.
This is so there's
Yeah, and I did update that before.
The album cover for the new album, Volume Simulation 1. Is that your cat?
Yes, that's our cat named Bandit, who we're missing him a lot right now, actually. He is staying with our friends of ours, and but yeah, that was him when he was like when we first got him as a kitten. And it's funny because that picture, there was like this little glowing orb in the picture. And that's been happening to me a lot lately, where I've been seeing like these guardian angels or the glowing orbs in the pictures.
Yeah, that's what they said in like when you saw a picture, you saw glowing, it would be like an angel or a spirit, someone watching over you.
This past year was really difficult for me, and I went through a lot personally, and there was a lot of spirituality that happened, and a lot of like occult stuff that happened with witchcraft and guardian angels and crystals, and all this stuff kind of culminated and was brought into the new album, Volume 1. So that picture is actually my living room, and that's my altar. And nice. That's kind of where we did a lot of the music, and also some of the spiritual stuff that I've been doing. And so I wanted that to be the album cover because it just kind of captures the whole thing. And then there was like a little orb in the corner, like,
yeah, that's interesting. And with these last few years, let's say they've sucked. They've been hard for everyone.
For everybody.
I think it's good to, you mentioned spirituality, because sometimes people think spirituality like religion, but no.
No.
Spiritual without being religious. It can be different things to everyone.
I couldn't be more anti or not religious. I am not. I don't want to say anti, but I'm not religious at all. But I am very spiritual, and I'm in touch with a lot of spirituality. And you can find it in religions. You can go to cathedrals, and there is a lot of spirituality there, and it's amazing. Or you can find it in your living room with your own ritualistic stuff that you can do. And so, I read some books and stuff, and I've always been influenced by the occult, but over the pandemic, I had to turn to something deeper to try to sort of get through what I was going through and manifest what I wanted, because it's so tempting to just go with the negativity and just be like, oh, life sucks. And it's like, if you have this higher thing that you can kind of project into, you can be like, no, like I'm going to project what I want out of life, and I'm going to be grateful for the things I have, and I'm going to focus on the good, and like have this kind of like vision of what's possible, instead of being stuck in this box of like fear and worry and stuff. And so like spirituality for me, it started with going to AA and getting sober off of alcohol and drugs. And then from there, it was able to develop more with like tarot cards and occult and witchcraft and, crystals and that kind of stuff. And I try to bring all that into this new album for sure.
Yeah, no, it's like, for me, I started doing like more exercise and lost weight, and that's another way to like to connect with yourself and feel better.
Yeah. Physical
So
is so important.
yeah, and like I lost weight during the pandemic. I know there instead like there were a lot of jokes of people like not
Oh
doing
yeah, me
anything.
too,
No,
man.
yeah, I went for walks, I did stuff, and that's when I decided like because I used to like review for this blog, and I'm like I was thinking of doing a YouTube channel for years, but I was like kind of scared like, oh, what if people don't like me, make fun of me. uh but no, it's been interesting, and I love the part about I like doing album reviews, but I think interviews are interesting because you get to go talk to the artist and like what makes you tick and like stories from the albums. That to me is very interesting, and you know I've had a lot of fun chatting with you. Like, see, you're a very like deep guy, and we have yeah, this has been a great conversation.
Yeah, it has. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So, man, I hope that the new album does well. I'll listen to it. I like electronic music as well. I'm very like when I first decided to do the channel, I didn't want to name it like something metal guy because I didn't want to like be tied in like, oh, I'm a metal guy, because I like to listen to alternative. I like to listen
Yeah,
to ska. I like to listen to. I did a
metal.
Jack
Yeah,
Johnson review. Like, uh,
metal has a lot of weird preconceptions to it also.
yeah.
Like for
So yeah.
instance, metal people don't consider metal an electronic genre, but metal wouldn't exist without the distortion pedal. It
Oh,
actually
of
wouldn't be
course.
possible to create heavy metal without electricity and electronics. So metal is an electronic genre, but every fan of metal is in denial of that fact. And a lot because they're ignorant. So a lot of times like they don't even like keyboards and metal. And like when Black Sabbath played, they used to have the keyboardist hide off stage. And but you know what's funny is a lot of metal heads love my shit. And I've been getting a lot of love from metal people on this tour. So
Nice.
hope.
So that's yeah. And if you think about it, like a band, like I remember in the 90s, I loved the Prodigy. And the
Yeah,
Prodigy was electronic but music, but it was like you had a lot of music in electronic music in the 90s was like happy go lucky, but the Prodigy were hard as fuck.
yeah.
The Fat of the Land, that album to me is amazing. And I got to see them twice. Uh Unfortunately, the singer died.
Yeah,
But
that was so sad. I was just thinking like how this guy has everything I want and he was still empty. And that's what made me
yeah,
realize like and I don't know what his personal situation is, but he's not the only one. We've seen a lot of
no.
musicians who've OD'd or killed themselves lately. And it's like it makes you realize that it's not about the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It really is about the journey. And as cliche and corny as it sounds, because you have to be in the now and you have to be like it's not just about you and your goal, because
Hmm.
you can get that goal and then you can still self-destruct. We're seeing it happen all the time, right? So it is about community and connectedness and about something higher.
Yeah, no, like money can't buy everything. Like you can a rock star and be depressed.
Well,
So
yeah, and that they can succumb to their addictions because people are like,
mhm.
when you're bottoming out and you're broke and you're down and out, and then it's easier to say, oh, this guy needs help, get him into the thing. But when you're a rock star, everyone's like, you're the fucking man, you're the best, like you can do no wrong, and it's like these guys needed to be in fucking AA or they needed to be in part of
Yeah.
a community, a recovery community. And instead they were isolated and they were stuck in their own head and they were saying the voices were going, I know how it is. Believe me, I have the voices. We all, we have those voices. So that's why I think it's so important. Like we got to reach out and be interconnected.
Yeah. No, totally agree. So I'm gonna put the flyer one last time before I let you go uh, for the tour, so people can catch you. So you're gonna be today's the 26th. So
Yeah.
you're next up you're gonna be. You have a few days in Kansas. I think that's Iowa. Then you're going August, Ohio, New
Yeah.
York. Oh,
Tonight I'm live. I'm live tonight in Colorado Springs. Tomorrow I'm live in Denver, then
nice,
Topeka, and then Iowa. And then there's a few days off. We're doing a big drive across the country. We're going to the Gathering of the Juggalos, and that's where we're
nice.
hooking up with Green Jello. Right now, it's just me and Scene Loc on tour and with local openers. And then once we get to the Gathering of the Juggalos, we're gonna hook up with Green Jello, and it's just gonna be
Nice.
craziness, insanity. I can't fucking wait. And yeah, it's been such a pleasure to just chill and have this conversation while I'm on
Yeah.
tour.
I'll try to post this. I'll post this week so people can know that you're on tour and go see you. And Green Jello, Green Jello has to be like really fun live
Oh
because
yeah, it's such a yeah. It's always it's a total wild experience. Everyone's in the puppet costumes and everything, and it's very interactive. It's a wild show. Come see us on this tour. Do not miss the God Bombs and Green Jello on this tour. You will get a show that you will never forget. I guarantee you that.
nice. So you
Bringing
heard it
back
here
the
on the
craziness.
Shield.
The craziness is back. Fuck COVID. Fuck all the isolating. Fuck all the fear and shit. We're back and we're fucking bringing some crazy rock and roll shit.
Yeah, it's being enough. Like, let's
Yeah,
get out there and
exactly.
have fun, and we need to move forward. Like, we can't
Yes,
be kept in a cave forever.
exactly.
Life finds a way, and you need to go out and
Right.
experiment life. Travel. That's what I'm doing. I've been more traveling, having
Oh yeah.
fun, just enjoy life. So, Justin, I hope the tour keeps on kicking ass, and that the new album does well. Maybe when it comes out, I can do an album review here on the channel.
I would love that.
Yeah,
Actually, I'd be happy to send it to you, and we'll talk separately, but I'll send you the album, and it's pretty much ready. So
yeah,
I'm just,
yeah.
but
Of course, I'll review it when it's
yeah,
closer to release date, because
yes,
that's when.
I'm very excited about this album. It's very live. It's very real. It's very raw. It captures exactly where I was at. It's very much like a very personal album, and I think it's some of the best stuff I've done. So I'm very excited. Thank you guys.
Awesome. So, Justin, thank you again for taking some time out on the road to chat with me. So, everyone, listen to the God Bombs. They're online. You can stream them. You can listen to they have a few albums. They have like 2 albums: the Supernova one in 2019, plus the Batman single from the new album that's coming in October. So, until next time, this is Hector, the Shield doing a couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.